morning, ladies and gentlemen. So it's my great to be here to present my proposal. Actually, for this one is a draft. I have done it for first time. I think I will do my best. And the topic that I'm going to present to you all is promoting students' confidence in speaking English with flipped classroom approach. So before I'm going to explain on my proposal, I will talk to you about what is the outline of my presentation today. So the first thing that I'm going to inform you is my background. My background is the thing what happened to what reflect to my class, and then what I have the problem in my class, actually in my school. So I will explain to you how do I choose this topic and why do I need to do this project. And the second thing is the research questions. Research question is they are actually I have one research question, but for this one I have add more. So there are two research questions. And after that I will explain to you the methodology and how to have the data collection. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will start my proposal right now. So, because English is an international language, it's an important tool used to communicate with people around the world. So this one is very important to my student also, where the rural area is a place where the environment is very difficult to find the foreigners, and the student cannot use English in their daily life. So for this one, when I return to my class, I try to encourage the student to speak English, but they cannot. They just listen, and I don't know how understand they are, and I think they didn't have good understanding. So I still thinking, and I'm thinking about how to enhance the student and promote the student to speak English with confidence. Actually, I don't forget on the accuracy or fluency, but I just want to increase more confidence in speaking English. And I also want to see in the literature review and in my study. So I want to see the motivation also, how the student be brave to speak English out or feel confident to speak English, and I want to foster the confidence and the motivation or the willingness to communicate. So, and I try to involve and investigate the flipped classroom approach to do with this project, because in only the class, when I lecture my student or I teach my student in the class, they use English for an hour, for a few minutes, or for a short time. So the way what I'm going to enhance my student in speaking is I'm going to let them practice English in the class and outside the class or anywhere by the flipped classroom. Is the new instructional mode for my class, for my approach, or for my school also. So do you know what is flipped classroom is? The flipped classroom is differs from the traditional style. So what is the traditional style? As maybe me, I used to teach like the traditional style, because when we lecture the student in the class or teach them put the content and practice in only class. So sometimes the traditional style more focus on teaching for examination. So for the it's flip the classroom, right? The student have to study the content in anywhere, any place where they can connect to the technology, or they use another tools to study the content. And after that, when they come to class, it's time to practice, it's time to do activity with teacher among their friends, also the classmates. So the thing what I'm going to do with the flip, it's more interesting for my student and for myself also. So my research question, there are two research questions. For the first one, I'm going to study what are the effects on the students' confidence from the components of the flipped classroom. And the second question is, to what extent do flipped classes help improve the secondary school students' confidence in speaking English? So the methodology in the class, I'm planning and still planning, and I'm going to do with my class. So before the class of flip will start, I will let the student watch the video clips or study the instructional content at home or anywhere outside the classroom. So during the class, when they come together or when they come to my class, I will let the students spend their time to doing in the class, like writing or peer review or independent learning activities or pair working, group discussion, project or group work or anything that they gather and do, they have the collaborative learning together. So this one is more specified on the speaking. And I will investigate the 5 speaking activities to enhance the student confidence in speaking English. They are self-introduction, 3 photo story, foreigner interview, impromptu speaking, and a coffee break discussion. And I also want to explain to you what is the fun activity in the next slide. But this one, the participants, I will have the sampling group for my student in Matthew 4. So that means the high school level for 30 students in Matthew 4 or grade 10 in Learning School is a province. And the instruments for my research is are self-reading scales, students' diary form, and interview. So 3 things what I'm going to do with my class and what I want to check the student confidence. So for the first one, self-reading scales, it's going to survey the student attitude toward the English language learning. So for this one, I also study from another researcher, and I will apply to suit my class and my content. And the next thing, what I'm going to let the student do and what I'm going to see is students' daily form. So for this form, the student is going to express the student freely towards a class atmosphere, like a survey. But for this one, in each activity, I will let the student note or reflect to the activity what they have done for 5 activities. And the interview. For the interview, I just want to survey and see how much learner confidence has improved in speaking English after flipped classes. So the data collection in this research, I will do like the 3 things: self-reading skills, student diary, and interview. Will be used for provider the data about the student attitudes, especially focus on the students' confidence. So to analyze the data, so I also study, and for the self-reading skill, what I'm going to show you for this one. Actually, I'm not sure about the details. Maybe I will see the X bar or the mean of the score before and after. And for the diaries, I will use the content analysis to analyze the student ideas and expression, feeling of the student after they finish the activity for each activity, for 5 speaking activities. So it's all my proposal. Great.